Vince McMahon, what have you done to hashtag Smackdown Live? This show used to be a safe haven from Raw's garbage. And now this show is as bad, if not worse, than Raw. At Triple H, please save us. Or save us, please. That was a tweet from me to Vince McMahon and Triple H about an hour and a half ago. This show was terrible. The main event did not save this show. The main event was a 2 out of 3 falls match. Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler. If Dolph Ziggler wins, Kofi versus Samoa Joe, which yes, he's facing Samoa Joe at the pay-per-view, would be a triple threat match. Thank God that didn't happen. Kofi ended up winning. But this show was just garbage. Vince McMahon has this etiquette going on now that no matches can go during commercial breaks. One did tonight, but because it is SmackDown Live, and since 2016, SmackDown Live has had what we call a picture-in-picture. You would have the commercial breaks and the majority of the show, and majority of the screen, but off to the side, I think it's on this side, off to the side, right here, is the show's match going on. That happened, I believe, one time tonight in the Bayley versus Nikki Cross match. Everything else had something go on to where the match lasted in one segment, and then if it was like they had two out of 3 fall matches. You had the first fall, and then you'd go to a commercial break. This is actually something, since the brand split's dying, the brand split is pretty much dead. This is something they need to incorporate on both Raw and SmackDown. This would alleviate the problem of no wrestling during commercial breaks, because you would have picture-in-picture going on, so you could have matches go more than one segment. It needs to happen. The picture-in-picture for SmackDown Live was introduced in 2016 after the brand split to give SmackDown Live a different feeling than Monday Night Raw. SmackDown Live, of course, had those graphics up on the side that would have the picture and a couple facts, like the Matt facts. They would be facts for each superstar. I don't even know if they still do that. I really don't know if they still do that. But that was a way for them to feel different than Raw. That doesn't matter anymore. The difference is gone because SmackDown Live and Monday Night Raw have this wildcard rule, which has been all but abandoned in a terrible way because Monday Night Raw had like 10 SmackDown superstars. Hell, I don't even know how many Raw superstars were on tonight. You had The Miz. You had... I can't even remember. It was that bad. We did have a couple more teasers from the Firefly Funhouse as Huskus the Pig Boy and Rambling Rabbit both showed up tonight during people in the backstage. I believe Rambling Rabbit, which you had to really pay attention, Rambling Rabbit showed up in a thing of bleachers behind Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, and Carmella as Carmella was looking for R-Truth. Huskus the Pig Boy, I don't remember where he showed up. I'll look into the notes here in a second. But Bray Wyatt is definitely coming back soon. No Firefly Funhouse this week, which is fine. Like I said, I'm over the segments of the Firefly Funhouse. Time to get Bray Wyatt back in the ring. This show just... I miss SmackDown Live 2016, August 2016 to December 2007. I'm going to say March 2017, when this was good booking, great matches, wrestling-centric, storyline-driven. This show was awesome in 2016. Second best show in WWE outside of NXT. NXT UK didn't exist yet. But somewhere along the way, these shows just continued to start feeling more and more like the same shows. Roman Reigns, by the way, during the Superstar Shakeup, came to SmackDown Live. Roman Reigns has not been seen on SmackDown for at least 3 weeks. He wasn't on Raw and SmackDown after the Super Letdown, probably to just sell his disappointment, the fact that he got beat by Drew McIntyre, and he got beat by Shane McMahon with the help of Drew McIntyre. Then he was on Raw last week and Raw last night, but hasn't been on SmackDown Live the last three weeks. That's absolutely ridiculous. I know they have the wildcard rule, but Roman is a SmackDown superstar. You go to WWE Superstar page, he's on SmackDown Live, but he has not been seen since Super Letdown or Super, boring. So it's just kind of ridiculous. The show, my goodness, let's see. Tonight, SmackDown opened with the video package of Undertaker's return last night on Raw, which I didn't like. People talking about, oh my god, I'm sure everyone in the WWE universe shit their pants because the Undertaker made a surprise appearance. I didn't. I sat here, I'm like, really? Really? Again with The Undertaker? I know he had a terrible fucking match with Goldberg at Super Showdown or Super Letdown or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But to call on The Undertaker again, why couldn't you get The Miz? Why couldn't you get somebody who Shane McMahon has screwed over? Shane McMahon got destroyed by The Undertaker in Hell in a Cell 3 years ago. They have no beef. So why are we getting this? Backstage, and Shane McMahon talks about the handicap match with Roman Reigns on Raw and said Roman got so desperate he called upon the dead man. He goes on about The Undertaker and says they will make Reigns a dead man as well at Extreme Rules. Shane warns the entire WWE roster to not get on his bad side tonight because he is pissed. Ooh, scary. I'm pissed. I'm so fuck you, Shane. Tonight was so bad in that 2 out of 3 falls match between Miz and Elias, and after the match that the crowd was chanting "No more Shane." By the way, last night's Monday Night Raw was one of the lowest attended Raws in a long time. 3,000 to 3,500 fans. That is 10,000 fans less than what you saw at Stomping Grounds. Yes, the ratings were up a tiny bit. The ratings were up a tiny bit. But the drop from hour 1 to hour 3 was steep. It was absolutely steep. And Monday Night Raw has got a big problem coming up in less than 3 months. The NFL Monday Night Football is returning very, very soon. And those ratings need to improve now, because by the time the Monday Night Football comes back, Monday Night Raw is going to not probably even top 2 million at all. Tonight's Smackdown Live, I guarantee you, is probably the 3rd week in a row that SmackDown will be under 2 million. It's just that bad. We go to the ring, and out comes the New Day for like the umpteenth week in a row. The New Day kick off SmackDown Live. They show stills of Kofi Kingston retaining over Dolph Ziggler in a steel cage match at Stomping Grounds. I will give Kofi Kingston props for his way of winning that match. Just doing a big swan dive over Dolph Ziggler. I'm still trying to find that GIF online. I'm pretty sure it's been made. I know Wrestling Inc.'s Twitter account had a GIF of Kofi Kingston with the swan dive over Dolph Ziggler to win the match. Tom talks about Samoa Joe versus Kofi Kingston at Extreme Rules as the New Day finished their entrance. Kofi shouts out Portland and talks about experiencing some of the best moments of his career and life since winning the WWE title at WrestleMania 35. Fans chant Kofi's name. Kofi says he's always experienced some of the most agonizing, brutal moments since the title win. He talks about the match with Ziggler on Sunday at Stomping Grounds. Kofi goes on and says, before he had the chance to celebrate the win, this happened. And we see what happened with Joe. And somebody tell me why Samoa Joe, of all people, is getting a WWE Championship match. Instead of giving us Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, you should have had Samoa Joe blindside Seth Rollins and get a Universal Championship opportunity against Seth Rollins, since you know they're both on Monday Night Raw. This makes no sense at all. Oh, I just lost the U.S. Championship, but I didn't really care about that belt because I want what Kofi has. I want what Kofi has, which is right over there. You see that title right there? You see that title? Joe wants that. But Joe, you're not a SmackDown superstar. Just end the goddamn brand split already. Just have Vince McMahon or Triple H, which, if you don't remember, 8 years ago, about 8 years ago almost, maybe, I think it was actually November of 2011, Triple H came out and was like, pretty much killed the brand extension, which was only in name at that time because everyone was jumping back and forth. You had the Raw Super Show, which was the Raw logo, and then Superstar in the SmackDown font. You need to just have Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live next week or whatever. Have Triple H come out and say, the brand splits over, anybody can go to Raw or SmackDown separately, it doesn't fucking matter. Merge the tag team divisions, merge the women's divisions, and that's all you need to do. The Intercontinental and the U.S. Championship need to stay separate. You don't merge those because that is your Grand Slam Championship format at this time. So we don't need to lose either one of those titles. Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, WWE, if you're going to kill the brand split, needs 4 titles. That means Seth, Kofi, or whoever's going to be those champions, they merge those 2. Speaking of Seth Rollins, before we move on, did you check out the heat between him and Will Ospreay in the last 48 hours? Seth Rollins on Sunday put out a tweet saying the best professional wrestling in the world is in WWE, and he challenged anyone to find anybody who can top what he does on a constant. Will Ospreay said, "I'm alive right here. I do just as well as you do." And they went back and forth, insults after another. And I'm like, first off, Seth, you need to talk to the man's man, your girlfriend, about how to do a Twitter beef. Just saying. Second off, Will Ospreay pointed out that the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship is more prestigious and has more value than the Universal Championship. And you want to know something? He's 100% right. 100% right. The Universal Championship is trash. If I went into a kid's store and my kid went over and grabbed a Universal Championship toy and wanted me to buy it for him, I'm like, son, we're gonna go get a different championship because this thing isn't worth the plastic it's made of. If I had a choice at getting a championship in WWE, it would be the North American Championship, a set of the UK Tag Team titles, the NXT Championship, and the UK Championship. Nothing on the main roster right now would be worth it. And the Smoking Skull title back, which I did have at one time, but needed some of this and had to sell it on eBay, unfortunately. Fans boo as we come back to Kofi. He calls it brutal, devastating, agonizing, incredibly painful. Kofi says Joe isn't complicated. He's just a force of nature like a Samoan shark. Goes on about being in the clutches of the Coquina Clutch. Kofi says Joe thinks he's a shark who found his prey at Extreme Rules, but Kofi will be damned if he lets Joe eat him alive, and out comes Dolph Ziggler. By the way, this pay-per-view is called Extreme Rules, and this is the one night a year that WWE goes extreme. We have 3 matches named. One of them has an extreme stipulation as of yet. Why? Ziggler says he refuses to let this happen again. He did all the hard work and the lifting. Now someone else is going to try and come in to take his spot. Ziggler says it's not going to down like that. He tells Kofi to shut up and goes about how this is his livelihood, his career, his everything. So Ziggler says, we all know Woods saved Kofi at Super Showdown, and then Kofi took the coward's way out by leaping out of the cage door at Extreme Rules. Yo, Dolph, that's how you win. That's one way to win the fucking match. I see no problems there. Ziggler says everyone knows he should be WWE champion right now. Ziggler says he's been talking to WWE officials backstage earlier, and they let him know that if he wins his match tonight, he will be added to the WWE title match at Extreme Rules to make it a triple threat. Ziggler says then and only then will he get what he deserves, the WWE Championship. Ziggler has one more thing. Officials wanted to let Kofi know he can't take the coward's way out tonight because the match will be 2 out of 3 falls. Yay, I don't give a fuck. That is just lazy booking. This is WWE's excuse to keep the show from having wrestling during commercial breaks. Again, picture-in-picture is the perfect solution for both Raw and SmackDown. You can have matches that go 3 segments even more if all you do is just go that little the logo transition and the matches up here and the commercials right here. That's all you need to do. You did it with Bayley and Nikki Cross tonight. You should do that every single match on both shows, just so you don't have to keep coming up with 2 out of 3 fall matches or elimination matches. Dana Bryan and Rowan are walking backstage, and we go to commercial break. I think this is where Huskus the Pig Boy showed up. I could be wrong. Back from break, and The Miz tries to get into Shane McMahon's office, but Elias warns him about Shane being in a bad mood. They have some words, and Elias taunts Miz, some with the guitar. Miz tells Elias to inform Shane that they have unfinished business, that it needs to end. Miz says everyone is sick of it and it needs to end. Miz walks off, Shane walks out, and he's all smiles. Elias says Miz wants another match with Shane. Shane agrees, but says only if Miz can beat Elias in another 2 out of 3 falls match first. Oh, too many 2 out of 3 falls matches. Well, like, I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of seeing a Hell in a Cell every October. I'm tired of seeing a TLC match, a TLC pay-per-view every December. Like, now we're getting these stipulation matches every single week because nobody in creative knows what the fuck they're doing. You don't have to do an elimination match or a 2 out of 3 falls match every single fucking time. Now, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, they need to bring back these squash matches for Raw and Smackdown Live. You could have Heath Slater go up against a Samoa Joe, get beaten like 3 minutes. You could have let me see here. You could have somebody on the lower end of the card go up against a Buddy Murphy, give Buddy Murphy about 2-3 minutes in the ring. You go to commercial break, you come back, you get a talking segment. Go to commercial break, come back. The only match on the card that should be going more than 10 minutes or more is the main event of both shows. Plain and simple. Look at NXT. Look at NXT. On certain occasions, you'll have you'll have 2 big matches on the show. But usually you have a great main event. And like this last week, you had Damian Priest versus Raul Mendoza, which went about 2-3 minutes. You had SDLIve versus Tanara Conti, that went a few minutes. Then you had the Undisputed Era versus Matt Riddle. I think it was this. Yeah, it was this week. Matt Riddle. Was that? Yeah, that was this week. Matt Riddle, Tyler Breeze, and Velveteen Dream in the main event, and that match went about 20 minutes. That's what they need to fucking do. You have talent on these rosters that you're not using. All you have to do is take the talent. Like, if you don't want to push EC3, have him go out there and get beat by somebody. You're doing it right with the Viking Raiders. You're getting these guys going out there. They're having short matches with guys that you know are not going to re-sign, and that's all you're doing. You don't have to have, like, pay-per-view matches every single week. There was no reason to have AJ Styles versus Ricochet this past Monday. There was no reason to have Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston again. Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus Xavier Woods and Big E should have been your big match for the show. Everything else could have been like Ember Moon versus Liv Morgan, and Ember Moon wins in about 2 minutes. You build up talent that you want to build up, and the other talent, get rid of the 24/7 championship. It sucks. It's boring, and I can't stand it. Get guys like R-Truth going in there, or Shinsuke Nakamura going in there and having matches with lower tier wrestlers that you don't see any future in. All you have to do. This is not fucking hard. Do what NXT does. Yes, every once in a while you're going to have a show for NXT or for Raw or SmackDown where you want to have big matches, but you don't have to do that. Yes, you could be promo heavy on SmackDown and Raw, but you don't have to do this shit where we're going to have like Big E, Xavier Woods, and Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Have that be like a 3-4 minute match. Have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens come out. Have Heavy Machinery come out, and we go to commercial break. We come back, and it's an 8-man tag match. That's stupid. It's repetitive. Like, you have Ricochet should have won up against a Heath Slater, or Ricochet go up against somebody who's not on his level. I have people argue with me today saying it was justified for AJ Styles to beat Ricochet in that non-title match last night because that's way to show Ricochet is not on AJ Styles' level. And you know what? You're fucking full of shit. Ricochet is here, and AJ Styles is here, and Ricochet's here. They're pretty much on the same level because nobody is above. This is Roman. Oh wait, no, this is Shane. This is Roman, and this is everybody else. Shane, Roman, I'm going to say Kofi's probably here, and everybody else is down here. So having Ricochet lose last night made no sense whatsoever. People were like, oh, in kayfabe, is it scripted? No, because that means AJ Styles still wins. No. Champions should not be losing. Bayley lost tonight. Daniel Bryan and Rowan ended up losing the 8-man tag match tonight. Like, champions keep losing. If I'm in WWE and I'm not in NXT and I'm told, hey, you're going to be the next ex-champion here, like, I'm going to be the new Intercontinental Champion, like, no thanks. I see what happens when you're a champion. You lose. Kofi, of course, hasn't lost a match, I think, since WrestleMania. But that's like the only exception. Everybody else has lost matches as champion. Joe when he was champion. Ricochet last night. Bayley on multiple occasions. I think Becky Lynch hasn't lost a match either, but I could be totally wrong. Seth Rollins lost to Baron Corbin in a tag team match. He took the pinfall. Champions just don't, it doesn't make any sense why you have this shit. What they need to do is go to, and like I said, what they need to do for these shows to, if you want to do this no wrestling during commercials, one match a night. The main event is what you want to push for this week. Everything else could be 2-3-minute matches with, like, say, Ricochet going over a EC3 in a 3-4 minute match. Save all, and Ricochet needs to start having these long matches because he's doing the same spots every single fucking week that it gets so antiquated. You're gonna see Ricochet and it's gonna be like, oh, he's gonna do that special, that spinning corkscrew, that dive over the rope, corkscrew dive over the rope every single match. It's just no more of this shit. We don't need it. Daniel Bryan and Rowan can go up against the Colognes. Big E and Xavier Woods can go up against the B team in about 3-4 minutes to build those guys up to where we see Big E and Xavier Woods versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan at the pay-per-view. That's what we should be seeing. Enough of these big matches and just throwing them together. They can do this better. You want to have your promo segments? Fine. Your promo segments can take up a few minutes if you want to, if it's the right person. He had Sonya Deville beat Ember Moon in about 2 minutes tonight. Not the outcome I wanted to see, but that's what you need to do. If you're pushing somebody, like, say you want Sonya Deville to be Bayley's next challenger after Extreme Rules going into SummerSlam, fine. Have her go out there and beat a Carmella, beat an Ember Moon, which I would not want to see again. Beat Liv Morgan, which we haven't seen since the Superstar Shakeup. Beat people in small and short matches. If you want to have a promo segment between Bayley and Sonya Deville, fine. That's what you do to build up hype. This show just was them not doing things right. We again had Xavier Woods and Big E versus Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Daniel Bryan and Rowan end up winning this match. As Rowan tossed Woods out of the ring to the floor, Rowan follows up, but Woods drops, kicks him into the barrier. Bryan with the yes kicks in the corner. Bryan gets caught by a huge Uranagi from Big E in the corner. Woods tags in and they hit a Midnight Owl for the pin to win. I'm sorry, New Day won. The New Day won. So again, the New Day win another match. Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan lose again. They were the first team out last night in that elimination match, and they're the first team out tonight. Last night, I can excuse and be okay, they lost because the Revival fucked them over. That is fine. If a champion gets beat because of outside interference or some bullshit like we saw last night, that is fine. It wasn't a clean loss for the Tag Team Champions for Smackdown last night. Tonight is no excuse at all. No excuse. Unfortunately, they're not the only champions to lose tonight. After the match, Woods and Big E celebrate together in the middle of the ring, and the music hits. Out comes Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn out of nowhere, and Big E from behind. They unload on Rowan, gets involved. Heavy Machineries, Otis and Tucker run to the ring and help Woods and Big E out. Woods and Big E, Otis and Tucker team up to clear out the ring, stand tall. SmackDown goes to commercial break. What did you expect when we came back? Daniel Bryan, Rowan, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn versus Big E, Xavier Woods, and Heavy Machinery. New Day, Heavy Machinery versus the Eco Warriors and I don't know what, and the Canadians. I think they're both from. Is Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens both from Canada? Could be wrong. Let's see here. Yes. Now this one ended a little bit differently because Otis tags in and runs over Sami and he comes in. Otis with shots to an opponent in the apron as well. Otis goes back to work on Sami as fans cheer him on. Otis rocks Sami in the corner and then hits a running splash. Otis calls for the Caterpillar and hits it on Sami as Kevin Owens drops down from the apron. He's like, you know what? I've had enough of this match. I'm leaving. He actually leaves Sami Zayn in the lurch. Compactor for the 1, 2, 3, and Daniel Bryan and Rowan were on the losing end again, but this time they did not take the pinfall. Again, you should not have your champions lose. Some idiot was like, oh, AJ Styles beating Ricochet shows Ricochet's not on his level. So the New Day beating the tag team champions of Daniel Bryan and Rowan means that Daniel Bryan and Rowan are not on New Day's level. Give me a fucking break. Daniel Bryan is one of the best goddamn heels in the damn business. Rowan is getting there, but Daniel Bryan could beat both of these teams on his own. Honestly. But this is just ridiculous. Champions should not be losing clean. And then some idiot on the post that I see, compares Ricochet losing to AJ Styles to the Red Sox, winning the World Series, and then losing opening day. Two totally different things. I don't give a fuck if anyone's like, oh, but don't fans want a real sports-centric feel? No, Fox does. Fox wants that. This does, but you can't, you cannot do professional wrestling completely 100% sports-centric. It just doesn't work at all. It just doesn't work. Champions should not ever lose clean unless it's a title match. They should look strong. Outside of NXT, and I'm assuming NXT UK, nothing on the main rosters, none of the championships on the main roster mean a damn thing. Intercontinental title, the WWE Championship are two of the oldest titles in professional wrestling outside of whatever CMLL probably has, because it's the oldest promotion, but that's neither here nor there. Those two titles should be the most prestigious titles. Those champions should never lose as champion, unless it's a title match and they're supposed to lose. Kofi Kingston gets pinned in that 2 out of 3 falls match, and it wasn't even the deciding pinfall. There was better ways to do this, and WWE just won't fucking do it, because Vince McMahon thinks, I'm a genius. Whatever I do is such good shit. And it's not. It's not. They need to do better. And SmackDown, like I said, SmackDown for the last 2 weeks have been below 2 million, and it was actually lower this week than last week. It was 1.9 the week before last, and then 1.8 last week. I expect this to probably be 1.7, if not lower. This show was absolutely awful, and I'm pretty sure when Shane McMahon was out there with Elias and The Miz is when people started to change the channel. See what happened between Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. They're the kind of question Cross versus Bayley, and if Cross wins, Alexa Bliss will receive a title shot at Extreme Rules. So Alexa Bliss is going to get another championship opportunity without literally doing a damn thing. Last time she had a championship opportunity, which was this past Sunday, she earned it in a triple threat match. Now she's off doing WWE's promotional tour while Nikki Cross does her bidding. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You have gotta be kidding me. Backstage, Miz walking to the ring. We go back to commercial break. 2 out of 3 falls. Back from break, and Miz is out first in the ring. Shane comes out, and he waits for Elias, who comes out with the guitar and a new song to get the local heat. He does rip the Portland Trailblazers for being, I believe they were swept by the Golden State Warriors in the NBA playoffs this year. WWE and their typical cheap heat, which does not fucking matter. Him trashing Portland, it doesn't really mean a damn thing when they go to the next town, and it's like, hey, remember when Elias trashed Portland for the Trailblazers losing 4-0 in the finals? Yeah, let's boo him. Doesn't work that way. Cheap heat cheap heats and cheap pops are some of the worst ways to try and get somebody over or somebody hated. It's just stupid as fuck, and it's overdone. Place goes right to work, but the first fall lasted about maybe minute and a half. Elias nails a big knee. Elias hits drift away after Shane ends up preventing Miz from capitalizing, and that is the first fall, and we go to commercial break. We reset as we go to the bell. Elias unloads in the corner and beats Miz down. Elias with a stiff clothesline to knock Miz back down. Shane taunts Miz. Skull Crush, and pretty much comes down to this. Skull Crushing finale. Shane breaks the pin up and hits the ring to mount Miz with some strikes. Miz wins the second fall by disqualification. Shane is furious about the second fall, and he has words with the ref, then goes back to stomping on Miz with Elias. They beat the holy hell out of Miz, and Miz gets beat by Elias after the bell rings in what was about, 2 seconds? 5 seconds? And so, it was just so bad. And during this beatdown, all you hear from the crowd is, no more Shane, no more Shane, no more Shane. I think the fans have spoken. Hey Vince, hey Triple H, remember when you guys came on Monday Night Raw last December and told us that you're going to listen to the fans? Fans in the Motor Center were saying, no more Shane. Are you going to listen to them? Of course you're not going to fucking listen to them, because We are stupid. They think the fans are stupid. Oh, the fans don't know what they're talking about. Baron Corbin is a great wrestler. Baron Corbin is a great heel. He's gonna get so much heat. Oh, Shane McMahon is the fucking man. He's the best in the world. Seriously, try to do a Vince McMahon impersonation for as long as you can. It fucking hurts. But yeah. After the match, Shane and them leave together as the music hits. They stop and walk back in the ring, and Elias enters and drags Miz to the corner, propping up against the turnbuckle. Shane goes up top and leaps and barely connects with the coast to coast. He hit Miz on his hip. It was so bad. Wrestling put a tweet out, and he says, "Not even the camera cut could save Shane from that terrible coast to coast." Shane, you're 50 plus years old. Stop doing the coast to coast before you die in the ring. I swear. There's been a lot of talk about Kota Ibushi and Tetsuya Naito trying to kill themselves in the ring. Shane McMahon is doing the exact same fucking thing, because this motherfucker is trying to die in the ring. The guy is 57 years old, still attempting to coast to coast. It's going to take one bad shot, like where his head just whips off and hits the corner, to where Vince is going to be like, "Well, that's enough. No more for you, Shane. Enough. Shane and Elias continue to talk trash, and we did get a fucking spear as well. Whoop-de-doo. Taylor Braxton is backstage, and oh my god! He's here. The Intercontinental Champion actually shows up on TV. The Intercontinental Champion actually shows up on TV. Finn Balor says he has respect for a guy like Andrade. When you bring the fight to me as he did, I have nothing but respect for you. She asked him who is his next challenger. And before he can answer, you just see Shinsuke Nakamura come out, just waving his hands, and he just barely touches the championship and walks away. And Finn Balor just sits there and smiles. I don't know if Prince Devitt and Shinsuke Nakamura had a match in New Japan. I'd have to look that up. But I'm intrigued by that. I would hope that Balor and Nakamura can go out there and give us a great match. And quite honestly, I think it's time that the Intercontinental title gets put on the main card, gets put on a pay-per-view, since we haven't seen it since Money in the Bank, and I guess Super Showdown if you wanted to watch that. But the last thing I saw was him at Money in the Bank, in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And the reason I can buy him being off TV for as long as he was between Money in the Bank and Super Showdown, because he took a beating in that match. For him to sell his injuries, good for him. And now it's back to square one. Let's see what Balor and Nakamura can do. Give me that match. Give them 25 minutes and let them go out there and do a... I don't know. I know WWE won't allow this, but give these guys the freedom to do a New Japan style match if they want to. Maybe one of those stiff matches. I would love to see what these guys can do when they actually are given the freedom to. See Bayley and Nikki Cross backstage getting ready, back to commercial break, and then we have Nikki Cross versus Bayley. This match, this match should have been better than it was. I don't know what happened between these two, but this match, it just felt so off. There were botches left and right when pin attempts. It just felt like there was something off between Bayley and Nikki Cross. I don't know. I don't remember Nikki Cross wasn't in NXT. Or on the NXT TV when Bayley was the NXT Women's Champion. But Bayley versus Nikki Cross just was not a good match. It should have been better. I so would love to have Nikki Cross go up against Asuka again, give us one of those matches. That's what, like when before Charlotte took the title off Asuka, I was pitching Asuka versus Nikki Cross at WrestleMania. I would have loved that match. But yeah, here we are now. Let's see here. More back and forth after the break. They did have a commercial break, but like I said, it was picture-in-picture, which, again, they should do for every match until the main event, because for whatever reason, since 2016, the main event doesn't get a picture-in-picture. I still don't get why they do that. For whatever reason, they don't. But picture-in-picture on Raw, picture-in-picture on SmackDown, and you won't have to do these 2 out of 3 falls matches and these restarts to matches as much. If it's once a show, it won't be as bad. But every single match outside of this one, it's just too much. Cross runs wild and hits a bulldog out of the corner. Cross plants Bayley in the mat again for another close 2 count. Cross charges, but Bayley sends her through the ropes to the floor. Bayley tries to capitalize, but she crash and lands hard on the floor. Cross takes control and brings her back into the ring for the neck breaker. Bayley kicks out at 2. Bayley ends up hitting a back suplex, but Cross kicks out at 2. Bayley goes up top and lands on the mat as Cross moves out of the way to dodge her and to dodge the crossbody. Cross comes right back with a 2 count. Bayley with a 2 count. Then they trade more pin attempts. Bayley connects on a knee. Cross comes right back and rolls up Bayley for the win and earns a title shot for Alexa Bliss. So Alexa Bliss isn't even on SmackDown tonight. Not even in the country, I hear. And she's got a title match because of Nikki Cross. If that doesn't bother you, then I don't know what to fucking tell you. That is a goddamn problem, in my opinion. Nikki Cross gets a title match for Alexa Bliss. We are really going down WCW pass. This is what happens when you get complacent. This is what happens when there's no competition. This is what happens when you don't give a flying fuck. Shit like this. This is just pathetic. After the match, Cross celebrates and runs around the ring as Bayley looks on, shocked. Cross goes over and celebrates with Corey Graves. He wants to use Saxon's phone to call Bliss, who is in Singapore with the red brand. Cross celebration continues, yada yada yada. Carmella's looking for Truth backstage. Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose are backstage and they have words. Ross and Deville tell her to watch her back, then walk off. R-Truth is in one of these little, because they're in the Motor Center, and I don't know if there's a hockey team. Is there a hockey team in Portland? I don't think so, but there was like something there that you would have for hockey. I guess there is. And Truth is hiding in there. She's looking for him. Drake Maverick appears and makes it known he doesn't have a referee. Says he doesn't have anything. He goes on about how Truth invaded his wedding. It was his special day. And now he's devastated. He spent thousands and thousands of dollars of his mother-in-law's money. I thought that was kind of funny. It's like, you didn't pay for this, Maverick. Your mother-in-law did, even though your wife is a indie wrestler. Okay. Truth ruined his life. Truth says he saw and he thought it was Carmella's wedding, which, seriously, can we stop with the Truth is a moron type shtick, because it has gone just so old. Truth started doing that back in, I think, what was it, like 2009 or 10, when they were in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He accidentally said Green Bay. Crowd booed him. Michael Cole ripped him on commentary, and ever since then, that's what's happened. Truth refers Drake as hornswogging in and says if the title means that much to you, you can get a referee. And all Drake Maverick do is like, come here, and the referee was there. Truth looks like he's gonna get down. He's like, psych! I love this title more than you love your damn wife. Your wife, and he takes off with Carmella as a group of wrestlers start chasing him. Drake Maverick is run over by these superstars, and we pan down to Drake, just sitting there, disheveled and heartbroken. Can we get this man to just be on 205 Live where he belongs as the general manager? That suits him well. I don't want to see Drake Maverick on Raw or SmackDown just wasting his talents in this shit. We see Ember Moon walking backstage, and we go to commercial break, and we see Tom Phillips plug the WWE nominations at ESPN's ESPY Awards for Moment of the Year in WWE, which are Ronda Rousey winning the WWE Raw Women's Championship at SummerSlam, Becky Lynch and Kofi Kingston winning at WrestleMania. That's 2 different ones. And of course, number 4, Roman Reigns coming back from leukemia. I don't want to be this guy. I don't want to be this dick of a guy. But if Roman Reigns does not get 100% of these votes, because it's fan voted, if Roman Reigns coming back from leukemia does not get 100% of the votes, you who voted for the other 3 do not have a soul. Just saying. I'm not a fan of Roman Reigns on all, but even I know. Brian Zane does a top 8 worst and best moments of the year. I guarantee you, it would shock me. It would shock me when we get to the end of 2019, and when he does his best top 8 for 2019 for WWE, that's not number 1. How can you top a guy going away for about 4 or 5 months due to leukemia, coming back and saying, hey, I'm in remission and I'm back? I'm not a fan of the character, but I can't say that's not the best moment in WWE this year. Yes, it's only June. We have July, August, September, October, November, and December. That's 6 months. But there is nothing on this fucking planet that WWE can do this year that would top what that moment was. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just saying. Ember Moon versus Sonya Deville. This match went about a minute. Goes to Shaxx. Mandy Rose ends up distracting Moon, forcing her to kick her away. This allows Deville to shove her into the ring post, follows up, and gets a pin. Ember Moon has been out of the ring for months. She was injured she had a shoulder injury this year after, I think she was in the Royal Rumble. She comes back in the Women's Royal Rumble. It's moved to Smackdown Live. I believe has one match. I think it was a tag team match. Bayley and Becky Lynch, I believe it was, against Ember Moon and somebody or something like that. Then she disappears. We see her 3 weeks ago reading a book, 2 weeks ago playing a Nintendo Switch, and last week beating up Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. But he loses in less than 2 minutes. That is sad. It shows you where in the pecking order Ember Moon is, and it's a damn shame. The woman who gave Asuka some of her best matches, and Shayna Baszler 2 of her best matches, just jobbing out to Sonya Deville in less than 2 minutes. That's a damn shame. After the match, Rose hits the ring and celebrates Deville as the music hits. And that was that. Get another backstage vignette from Aleister Black. He rants about how all he wants is for someone to come and fight him. Black is starting to think that maybe no one in WWE is man enough to fight him. Somebody suddenly, and the lights go down, and then all you hear is, and then he gets this, like he's not laughing, but he has this little look on his face, like finally. You don't see who knocks. I would have thought it was fucking awesome if you would have seen the lights come out, lights come back, like the door knock, lights come back on, and behind it would have been the Fiend. All you would have heard was, wowie, wowie. And then they start brawling. That would have been fucking awesome. But that's not what we got. The rumors going around is it's going to be Cesaro, but I think that would be a major letdown. Why, oh why, is Aleister Black a certified badass, sitting in a chair, begging people to pick a fight with him? He should be the one going out there and picking a fight with like a Finn Balor, an Andrade Cien Almas, a Mustafa Ali, a Buddy Murphy, a Shinsuke Nakamura, a Rusev. Anybody. Why is he waiting for someone to knock on his door? He should be the one knocking, like going in there, kicking a door down and going to pick a fight with somebody. This booking has been terrible. I already missed the days of Ricochet and Aleister Black in the tag team because they actually were doing something and they weren't fucking losing. Yes, Ricochet is United States champion, but look what happened last night. 2 out of 3 falls. Dolphy. This show, my God. Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston. This match, and I'm going to say this right now. This match was better than Sunday's cage match. This match, especially Fall 3, was better than what we had in that cage match. And that's not a good thing in my opinion. A non-title 2 out of 3 falls match that's going to see if Dolph Ziggler wins goes into it's added into a title match at Extreme Rules, was better than what you saw on Sunday and a title match inside a steel cage. That is awful. Let's see here. The first fall, let's see. Trade some pin attempts. Ziggler with a knee to the gut. Ziggler tosses Kofi into the apron, but Kofi fights back. They trade more pin attempts. Ziggler tries to grab the rope for the leverage, but the referee catches him. Kofi rolls up and distracted Dolph Ziggler for the first fall. Kofi ends up getting fall 1. Ziggler nails Kofi from behind with a cheap shot before they can reset for the next fall. Ziggler takes Kofi to the floor and launches him into the barrier. Ziggler with a zigzag on the floor as we go to commercial break. So Ziggler probably wasn't happy that he's down 1 fall to 0. Back from break and the bell rings, Ziggler misses a big splash in the corner. Kofi rolls him up for a close 2 count. Ziggler rocks Kofi with a big super kick and covers him for the 1, 2, 3. Yes, I believe this is the first time Kofi has been pinned since WrestleMania. But Kofi Kingston was pinned for the first time, if that's true, since WrestleMania in a 2 out of 3 falls match, and it wasn't even the deciding fall. The booking is so bad in this show. It's not even funny. You could have did this so much easier. You could have Dolph Ziggler rock Kofi on the outside, and Kofi gets counted out to 10. There you go. You have yourself a tied 1-1. Ziggler brings Kofi back in, and then you go from there. But no, that's what they do. Third fall, I will say, was the best part of the show. Just saying. Fans try to rally for Kofi as the bell rings again for the third fall. When was the last time a bell rang for a 2 out of 3 falls match? And Ziggler fights and hits a neckbreaker for a 2 count. Ziggler shows some frustration. Ziggler with a rake to the eyes. Kofi tries to find the opening, but Ziggler sends him to the turnbuckles for a 2 count. Ziggler keeps Kofi grounded with a submission in the middle of the ring, but once again, as fans try to cheer the champion on, Kofi tries to fight out, and he does. Kofi with a headbutt. Ziggler rocks Kofi and talks some more trash. Kofi whips Ziggler hard into the turnbuckle when he goes down. Kofi approaches, but Ziggler sends him face first into the turnbuckle. Ziggler jumps and drops a big elbow to the heart of Kofi for another close pin attempt. Kofi tries to fight back to his feet, but Ziggler keeps fighting back with the strikes. Kofi blocks a neckbreaker and backslides for a 2 count. Kofi with big chops now. Ziggler catches a drop kick. Kofi blocks a catapult and flies Ziggler for a close 2 count. Then Ziggler rolls for a 2 pin attempt also. More back and forth. Ziggler comes back with a big DDT for another close 2 count. He continues to show this frustration again. More back and forth between the two. Kofi drives Ziggler down as fans cheer him on. Ziggler avoids the boom drop because he goes to the outside. Kofi kicks Ziggler in the head. Kofi comes off the top rope with a strike to the face for a close 2 count. Ziggler fights back but misses a famouser. Kofi turns it into a sit-down powerbomb, which it was a spinning sit-down powerbomb, which I thought was beautiful. Something you didn't see, so it was great to see something that you hadn't seen in any other matches. That's what I like to see in matches, is that if it's the same match, if it's the same 2 people as recently, at least throw a different move in there every once in a while so the match doesn't feel stale. But good on Kofi to bring out the spinning sit-out powerbomb. Looked devastating, I will say. Everyone's surprised at the late kick out. Kofi waits for Ziggler to get up as he fans cheer on. Ziggler blocks the Trouble in Paradise, which honestly, with how close Kofi was to Ziggler, I don't think he would have hit the Trouble in Paradise wouldn't have been hit or looked terrible if he hit it there. For a 2 count. Kofi runs shoulder first into the ring post as Ziggler moves. Ziggler comes right back with a zigzag for another close pin attempt, and right after that I knew Ziggler's not winning this match. Ziggler waits for Kofi to get back up as fans try to rally. Kofi counters but misses Trouble in Paradise. They go for trading counters, and Kofi nails the Trouble in Paradise for the 1, 2, 3. Dolph Ziggler's chances at the WWE Championship are done. Out of here. Not happening anymore. After the match, the New Day's hit music hits as Kofi stands tall with the title. We go to replays as Kofi hits the corner to pose. Kofi goes to ringside, runs around the ring, greeting fans in the front row while raising the title in the air, and Smackdown goes off the air. Was it a good show? No. The main event was a good match, especially that third fall. I'm not a big fan of 2 out of 3 falls matches anymore. Gargano and Adam Cole set a high mark for 2 out of 3 falls matches, and just doing them over and over and over again, as WWE has done, has diminished these matches more and more and more. They've got to stop. They got to think of something else. Like I said, you could have like Roman Reigns versus somebody, and he beats them in like 3 minutes. Roman Reigns needs to have a squash match where he squashes somebody like that, and because that will change his the look on how Roman Reigns is. Roman Reigns' matches are the same thing. He gets beat down, he hulks up, he comes back, Superman punch, miss spear, and then he hits a spear for the 1, 2, 3. Have the guys that you want to be stars go out there. Have your champions go out there and win short, sweet matches to save them for pay-per-view. Kofi and Ziggler are done. Kofi and Joe, I still don't get why we're doing this match. But Kofi and Joe, where we're going now, after that, it's either Roman Reigns or Shane. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We'll have to wait and see. But hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Twitch and Twitter at the France Club. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for NXT, where we have Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai in a cage match. Cannot wait to see what happens there. I heard it's one of the best women matches of the year, and we'll have to be the judge of that. So then, my name is the France, and I'll see you guys later.